Mic test, checking. We're about to start, and Tanjiro wants to be part of the video. So, Tanji, come here. Up. Hello, everyone. I hope you're all having a great Thursday. And tomorrow's going to be Friday soon. Okay, Tanjiro, let's show yourself here. Hello. Hi, everyone. Tanji. Oh, dali. Ayun na, oh. Diba you want to show yourself to the world? Oh, show yourself na. Happy Thursday, everyone. I hope you're all having a great day. I had a long day, tiring day. Tonight, we're going to be continuing our discussion about quitting. Quitting, but not quite yet. As also promised to you, we're doing this way earlier because I do have to attend to a dinner tonight. But we're very happy to talk about quitting again. So I'm going to be inviting our participants as we settle down and ask you guys keep those questions coming. Remember, even if our topic for tonight is all about quitting, you're still welcome to talk about anything related about career. Could be an issue with your manager, could be an issue with your colleagues, could be about job hunting, job interviews, and all these things. Let me just fix my TikTok. By the way, have you guys downloaded the Threads app? The one that's owned by Meta or Instagram, and what people would bet to be replacing Twitter. Because right now it's trending on Twitter by Twitter because people are leaving Twitter. So I created my account a while ago only because I'm concerned that there are a lot of Jonathan Yabuts out there and someone might get the name. Believe it or not, there's a lot of us who have the same name. I thought my surname Yabut is not as common, but apparently a lot of people also use that. So if you think you have a very common name, I think you should create an account on Threads now. Otherwise, someone might just take it. Yes? Can I get the letter T if you have created an account on Threads? I'm looking at the chat box. Tina Villieg on TikTok is saying, I love you are doing live around this time because it's 10:21. Oh, because it's 3 hours in advance, right? In New Zealand. Yes. From time to time, maybe we will do more 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. Depends on the availability. But, this is in favor of the TikTok folks because a lot of the folks, I think, are online past beyond 9 p.m. So we're just jumping on that bandwagon. Also, while we're waiting for folks to settle down, by the way, could you please give us a like or a heart if it's your first time to join our session? While that's happening, I wanted to share this. This morning, I was invited to the event of 𝗕𝘂𝘆, and it's interesting. So they gave this one of these gifts. It's interesting. I had this photo, by the way, taken during the. I'll be posting about that, and I want to thank 𝗕𝘂𝘆 for inviting me because now I have lots of boxes. I speak for a living, so you can just imagine how I'm so happy to have all of these boxes on top of their other gifts. So it's interesting because 𝗕𝘂𝘆 is a very old brand. It's been there for quite a while, but they took the effort and the investment to publish a study, initiate a study on how it's very effective when it comes to alleviating sore throat for patients that have COVID-19 and how it also affects patients who contract COVID-19. And interestingly, in the study presented this morning, which I attended, it does alleviate sore throat and it does help in resolving COVID-19. In fact, one of the published parts of the study show that it shortens the amount of days, the number of days for the person to convert from positive to negative. So interesting. So thank you, folks from 𝗕𝘂𝘆, for inviting us and for these gifts as well. Okay, gladiators in suits, shall we start our session? It's all about quitting tonight. You guys have been asking for this. You guys have been requesting about this. Bring it on, and we'll answer as many questions as we can. Okay? People are also asking, do you have a episode about quitting in your podcast? Yes, we did. We did that in season 2. I forgot which episode, but I think you can just scroll on Spotify. Our podcast on Spotify is From Grit to Great. You can just search my name and you'll be able to find our podcast. JK Boo on TikTok says, I've quit my job, even if it's just for 3 months. I felt like 5 years of working, I've been drained so much. When I was younger, I would have this judgment saying, oh, you're not tough enough. I think you should do more. I still have that mindset, but I also changed my mindset during COVID 19 when I appreciated that people have different levels of threshold when it comes to anxiety and stress. And so that is when I realized, geez, I should not be projecting my threshold on other people. And I guess I have higher thresholds because I am a motivational speaker after all. But it's unfair to dismiss the people who do not have high thresholds to be automatically weak. Of course, I'm still here as your coach to push you to not easily give up, to always exhaust all means, to talk to people before you even decide to quit. But I'm also going to say that not everyone will be able to stretch it out for 6 months, 12 months, or even a year or 2 years. So all is fair. Jaynel on TikTok is asking, why is it that some companies do not hire back employees that quit from them before? A lot of reasons. I think sometimes that employee has committed a certain blunder or a mistake that I think is unforgivable. And so they don't want this person anymore to be part of the organization. They think that that person is a liability. I think they also want to send a message to people that loyalty is a one-way street, meaning the moment you have given up and quit, that's it. There's no turning back. I think there are organizations who are like that. I also think, however, that the amazing organizations, amazing companies out there will welcome you with an open heart if you have also a change of heart. And I've seen these kinds of companies. I've met people who went back to their former companies because they've realized that they were missing something that they couldn't find in their new companies. That's also fine. Lori Gamau Cruz is asking on Facebook, any tips on how we can compare salary within the same industry or even if in the different industry to maximize what we can get? Interestingly, JobStreet has an index that you can check in their website. And it's cool that you mentioned that because we are going to publish and share soon our video, our career series video sponsored by JobStreet on how to get by with your careers. But you can go to the website of JobStreet. They do have that published for Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, etc. Um, is there a difference between quitting and moving on? Para naman tong telenovela. Is there a difference between quitting and moving on? I think from a semantic point of view, from a choice of word point of view, they're similar. The only thing that I can think of right now is moving on means that you're quitting simply because you think that there's no other choice that's better for you but to go past beyond this situation. Quitting, on the other hand, could be a subset of you've quit because you're giving up. You've quit because you think that you don't want to undergo the pain anymore. Does that make sense? If I were to choose which one's better, I think moving on sounds stronger. It also sounds more hopeful because you may have quit, but you're moving on because you're looking for better and greener pastures. That's how I see it. Bianca Abad on Facebook is asking, when do you determine when this is the correct course of action, such as when is the right time to quit? What are the qualifiers for a toxic workplace? And do you deal with it while still in the company? Well, number one, a toxic company I think is an important factor to consider whether you should stay or you should quit. What are my criteria for saying that a company is toxic? Number one, there is no merit philosophy. What do I mean? No matter how hard you push at work, no matter how you have achieved, the company does not recognize what you have achieved. Recognition meaning either verbally, either through rewards, either through simple recognition, such as letting people know that they appreciate you. It could just be a simple announcement on email. It could just be simple announcement in a town hall meeting, or it could be as specific as promotion, merit increase of salary, for example. I think this is so basic that if it's not something ingrained within the culture of the company, I will leave. I will never be able to progress because no matter how hard I work, nothing's going to be provided for it. That's one. Another toxic company, workload. The company does not believe that in order for you to do more, they need to support you also. What do I mean? If I want you to do more things, you should be given a software. You should be given proper gadgets. You should be given proper training, proper coaching, proper mentoring. If the company does not want to invest in these things because it sees them as costs, as expenses, meaning training is considered as an expense, not as an investment, I would quit. Because this company will keep on dumping work on you without supporting you as you go along. That's my second criteria. I think my third criteria for a toxic workplace, I would say the personality of the leadership team, meaning these are people who embarrass you in front of the public, people who curse, people who, simply put, are not hesitant to use hurtful words, right? They will curse either in Tagalog or English. It's so normal for them. When they easily get mad at you, rather than coaching you on how to get it right, they will shout at you. They will make you feel inferior. They will make you feel that you're never good enough. That for me is toxicity. And there is never an excuse. Even if you've done something wrong, I don't think there's any excuse for someone to shout at you, to curse you, and to share hurtful words. There's no space for that at all. So there, those three things will be my criteria for toxicity in any organization, and therefore do merit leaving the company. Oh, I like this. Maestro Ton on Facebook is asking, may I know what you think of an immediate superior who always uses religion as a defense mechanism when people see or speak about their malpractices or incompetence? It's a person who's using an excuse. And first and foremost, you should never use religion in the workplace. A workplace should be free of any specific religion being favored. Any company should be able to celebrate any type of religion. It should not be favoring only one type of religion. And neither should employees be imposing their religion to others. You may be Catholic, but that doesn't mean that you're superior to me. You may be Muslim, but that doesn't mean that you should be given favoritism versus others who aren't. So, Maestro, this is a superior who's not open to feedback. And I don't know, I would get pissed off if I had this kind of manager. I don't know how to handle this kind of manager. I would do a heart-to-heart talk. I would also think at a certain point would report this manager to HR, or would report this manager to the boss of the boss. Because this person they ought to change. If you're really an amazing leader, you should be open to feedback of what people think of you. Rodel Lawas on TikTok says this. Everyone else in the company is asking me, where will I move? I have quit my job. Do I need to answer them? Of course not. One of the best way to answer them without giving them a specific response is tell them, I'm currently taking a break. I'm looking for greener pastures. I want to take good care of my family. It will shut them up. And once they get that sufficient response, they will just give up probing why. You don't owe anyone specific information where you are going. TikTok, GVA is asking, I will resign next month from a 7-year job. Is it normal that I'm feeling what I'm feeling because it's already toxic? Not at all. Remember, wanting to quit is like an empty cup. It's like an empty cup. On your first year, you're going to have those irritations that you will just let go and ignore. And then you're going to graduate and see more irritations piling up until it gets to the peak of the cup and up to a point wherein you just can't hold it anymore. And so that's when you tell to yourself, I just want to quit. If that is your situation, go. Oh, I like this question from Rio Abrio. 22 years in the company, but I always wonder what is it like to work in another company or other companies to see my full potential outside my comfort zone. Is this a good reason to leave my current organization? You know, Rio, for someone who's been in a lot of organizations, beyond what's it like to work in a different company, you know what I'm excited for when someone leaves and moves to another company? It's the idea that you will be able to learn something that I don't think you will ever learn in just one company. Remember, when you move to a different company, it's not just the structures and the policies and the brands or products of a new company. It's the new set of people. If it's a different office, it's a different commute journey. Just changing your route. If you're going through EDSA and then now you're taking a different route, just that daily route, I want to remind you, changes your mindset. Why? You'll be exposed to different types of people. If you're commuting, you'll be exposed to different types of commuters. That alone can change you permanently. You get what I mean? Uh, the food that you eat, a different canteen, the software that the company uses. Some people use Outlook, some companies use Gmail. Being exposed to a different software dramatically changes how you see the world. For example, I have this friend, and again, this is me being biased towards Canva. I have this friend in their former company as a graphics designer, they only used Photoshop. And then when he moved to another company, they were now using Canva. And it blew her mind because obviously Canva is more user friendly with so many templates to use. And it made her happier because there were so many things that were already automated for her. That is an example of how switching to a new company is not just about opening new doors, but it's also opening new experiences. So go. I would always say this, my mentality in life is about a collect and select mentality. What do I mean? If you're young, you can take risks. You can select as many organizations as you can. And maybe when you're in your 40s or 50s, that's the time when, okay, this is the company that I will finally retire from. And you do that way later in life after you've been exposed to so many other organizations. Now, of course, Rio, if you're still happy with this current company and the company's treating you right, it doesn't mean that you're losing a lot in life, right? I do think that if you're already happy and you're learning still, even if it's the same organization, I think you should still be able to enjoy a good life. Am I saying that you're missing out a lot? Perhaps yes, but it doesn't mean that the only way to live a life is to always experience different things. I think there's also comfort to stability. There's also comfort to predictability. There's also comfort to the idea that you know your way around in the organization. Okay? So, Rio, good luck, whatever decision you're taking. Rich Kizon on Facebook is asking this question. How will you quit if you're so close to your boss? Like you feel like you owe them a lot personally. I was the one who did all the works for her, but I am not compensated enough. I tried to resign for a better offer and career growth in another company, but she threatened to give negative assessment. And the counter offer as promised by HR, it didn't happen. Okay, Rich, first and foremost, if you're really close with this boss and if you owe so much to this boss, why is this boss not helping you get through proper compensation? I don't even think it's a good boss. And why is this boss threatening you that they will give you negative assessment if you quit? Amazing leaders will let you go because they think that the only way for you to grow is to look for greener pastures. So please don't tell me that you owe this boss. Remember, after 2 weeks or 1 month, the moment you've left the company, anyone will forget about you. You will also forget about them. So don't feel like, and again, I'm going to raise this as an issue because I think a lot of us Asians and Filipinos, we tend to be so emotional that when we need to leave a company, the first thing we think of is, oh no, I'm going to be leaving my friends. I'm going to be leaving my community. Yes, you will be leaving them. But the moment you move to another company, you'll be finding a new set of friends and a new community. And please remember, if you're leaving because you're getting a better salary, a better opportunity, that is worth the departure. Can I get a letter A as in amen? That is worth the departure. You should never limit yourself and your experiences in life with the comforts that you are with the people that you like. Separation anxiety is never a worthy reason to keep on staying and to keep on hanging on. That is, sorry guys, I'm gonna say this, but you need to grow up. You need to become an adult. You need to let go of that immaturity thinking that I will feel bad because I'm leaving people behind. Don't feel bad. After 2 weeks or 1 month, I bet my life on you. They're gonna forget about you. Also, this doesn't mean that you can still see them afterwards. You can go out for Friday nights, for dinner, for drinks. It doesn't stop you from nurturing a relationship with them, even if you don't see them on a daily basis. Okay? Oh, nagalit tuloy si Jonathan sa'yo. Okay, let's answer a question now on TikTok. Okay, TikTok, Inmo Studios. Hi, Jonathan. The company preferred that you quit rather than give you a raise. What are your thoughts? It's not the company working for. Why? They've already revealed their true colors to you. They will not want to compensate you for what you think you're worth. Why stay? Right? You should be thankful they reveal their true colors. What you need is to look for another company where they will pay you according to the worth that you think you're deserving. Yes. This is my mantra in life. Sometimes I am thankful. I'll give an example. Let's make it something that I think all of us can relate to. If at the beginning of a relationship, let's say you're courting someone or you're flirting with someone online, if at the beginning of the relationship, they have already been showing some red flags, meaning they only message you when it's convenient, they only give you praises when you also give them a praise at the start of the conversation, at the start of the relationship, I would be grateful. Why? Because it didn't take them too long for them to reveal their true colors. Let people reveal who they are so you can identify as early as now if it's worth pursuing the relationship. That also applies to jobs. That also applies to organizations. This is why, even if people tell me, and again, this can be a debate, but my belief is that if you have been treated wrongly and you've been hurt during a job interview, meaning the recruiter or the hiring manager was not treating you right. They're not looking at you straight into the eye. They were late. They were not even apologizing for being late for 2 hours. They keep on delaying and rescheduling the job interview. If you're not getting treated properly, even at the very start, this is a sign that the moment you become an employee, perhaps the experience is even going to get worse. So I would run away. This is not a company that's worth applying for. And I will be thankful that they revealed that color, that true version of who they are at the very start, versus me signing up a contract and only realizing these things when I'm already trapped with a 2-year bond, for example, right? Or having let go of another offer that was actually better. Kimberly K is asking on TikTok, what to do if your company gave you a 30-day notice plus 1 week extend of rendering? Is it okay? Check your contract. It's always going to be based on your contract. The 1 week extension is not something that I've heard of in common. Something that's common that I've heard of. Maybe it's something that they're negotiating. If you're okay to do it, go. I don't know how to refuse this though. But check your contract because that's usually going to be the Bible and the gold standard of what is the terms of reference. I'm going to answer this quickly on TikTok. What are your thoughts for changing career path because there is no growth on your current team? Before you change, number one, have you asked for mentorship? Have you asked for growth? Have you asked for certain projects? And this is where I'm going to say sometimes we don't have the most amazing bosses such that they will be the one to initiate. Sometimes it has to be us who will proactively nudge the boss and say, hey, boss, pansinin mo naman ako. I'd like to get this project. I'd like to get this account. Can I take on this new team, etc.? There are bosses who are going to be like that. And sometimes, because you have nudged them, they will probably give you an opportunity to step up. So don't assume that all managers are going to take the initiative to do things for you. Sometimes you have to take the wheel. Some people are lucky, some people aren't. That's just how life is. Okay, 𝗕𝗂𝗃𝗆 is asking on Facebook, hi, Sir Jonathan, I'm a government employee. I have noticed that the management does not give me, anong agency to ha? Pangalanan nga. I've noticed that the management doesn't give me opportunities for growth and improvement because I am a person with disability. I thought that they will accept and understand me, but they didn't. This is the trend. If you know that this is your trajectory and it's likely how you've been treated for the X number of months, I don't think it will change drastically. So, Che, this is me who's going to say something that's easier said than done. What I think you need to be satisfied with your job is to look for an organization that centers their benefits and treatment to people with disabilities. It's easier said than done, I get it, but you can research online, and there are going to be companies who proudly brag that they do treat their employees with people with disabilities right. You might want to consider moving to that organization instead. Okay, Bernadette de Los Santos on Facebook is asking, I've been an intern for more than a year now. Okay, intern Bernadette, I think you're referring to being a probationary employee as well. I just want to know when to put an end, waiting for my full confirmation for my TL post. Do I need to continue or look for another company? First and foremost, if you're up for regularization or up for promotion or whatever it is that the company promised you, do not just say yes without asking for the timeline. Because all promises do have expiry dates. If they don't give you a date, they're just teasing you. They're dangling a carrot and they will keep on moving that carrot because you also keep on moving, which I think is unfair. Because if you're telling me that you're going to promote me if I'm able to fulfill X, Y, and Z, that needs to have an expiry date. Is it in 6 months? Is it in 1 year? So, Bernadette, my question for you is, have you asked your manager what exactly is the timeline for this? And is there going to be a discussion between the two of you to decide whether you're worthy of finishing that internship for your team leader or your TL post? So rather than immediately jumping and saying that you have to look for another company, please exhaust that portion first. Um, Seeking advice, says City. I was planning for a career change, but I was promoted as a senior. Is 10% raise good? Okay, I'm going to put some mathematics here. The answer is it depends. It depends on your absolute value. If your salary is 1 million pesos, 10% increase is obviously high, right? Because percentages are dependent on the absolute value. If your salary is only 10,000 pesos, the increase is only 1%. Is that okay with you? Perhaps not. Okay? Please also remember that internal promotions will always be relatively lower than moving to a different company. If you notice, and this is across the board, across industries, internal promotions will likely give you 5% to 15% increase in your salary. Maybe you can compensate through benefits. For example, some leaders get a car plan, they get better insurance, all these things. But it's different when you move to a different company. Usually the jump is 20 to 30%. So between the two, and if you don't have any issue staying or leaving the company, and if you're willing to take on a different journey, if money in a vacuum is your concern, I would go for moving to a different company instead. If it's all about increasing my salary quickly. And if you notice, between the age of, let's say, 25 to 35 years old, that's the time when you can usually keep on jumping. And whenever that happens, usually the shift from one salary level to another is so fast. Like, you can start your career at 30,000 pesos at 25 years old. You can end up at the age of 30 or 35 to 100 to 150,000 pesos just because of jumping from one place to another. Or you can even push it to 200,000. Jordan is asking, do we have a leadership session for 10 packs only together with virtual audience from Malaysia? We do get invited for private engagements. Just do take note that our rate for audiences, regardless if it's 100 or 20, is the same because the effort is the same. So what we usually do is that we encourage our clients who have smaller audiences to take our online course instead, which you can access 24/7. It's in our website, jonathan.yabut.com. We have an online course for 1.5 hours for leadership in the time of hybrid work era. Okay, Enoch on Facebook is asking, what if you are already in your 40s? Is it still okay to move? I think so. First and foremost, I think we're all getting younger in terms of our physical abilities. I'm not projecting myself, but I'm turning 40 in the next few years, but I still feel so strong and I feel so energetic. And maybe that's because I go to the gym, I play sports, I eat as healthy as I can. And usually, the reason why a lot of people tend to discriminate relatively older folks is because the way they look and the way they move is not appropriate for high paced environments. If you can still prove that, especially in your job interview, I don't think you'll have a hard time looking for a new job. Remember, at the end of the day, experience and wisdom are one of the important criteria for choosing people for certain vacancies. Aj N is asking, do you have an online course regarding email etiquette and business writing? Yes, we do. In fact, that is the specific title of our online course. You can go to our website, jonathanyabut.com. In fact, if you're watching this on Facebook or LinkedIn, you see this part. Sorry, you see that part? The one below? You can scan the QR code because that is where you can catch all of our online courses. Okay. Nino Monsanto, how does the company address employee well-being? Are there measures in place to prevent excessive stress and burnout? Yes. And you do not solve it by doing a lot of mental wellness webinars, ladies and gentlemen. You do this by managing, first and foremost, the workload of people. Meaning, are people given the right amount of space to breathe? Are people being dumped on work to the point that it's only one person and they're doing the job of five people? And the company wants to save money, so they refuse to hire additional manpower. That for me is the ultimate solution to managing excessive stress and burnout. Because when people are motivated to what they need to do, they will go beyond the usual. They will do proactive measures to get the job done. But that's because they feel that they are well taken care of. Let me answer this question because I think it's related to the question a while ago. Shari Bell on Facebook is asking, how do you measure? How do you know if workload is too much? One way is to look at the analog, look at the past experience. If your job description is different, totally radically different from what you've signed up for in your job offer, and you are aware that you have inherited the job of two or three people who quit their positions, and you were told by your manager, okay, three people have quit, two people have quit, please take on the job for now, and let's see what happens. It's been 6 months, it's been 1 year, and they still do not hire replacements. That's being overworked. That is unfair. And sometimes you just happen to be so amazing and good in your performance, they start thinking, kaya naman pala niya. So I'm not gonna hire people anymore. Sure, kaya mo for a few months, but that will take a toll at some point and you're gonna give up because it's just too much. That's one. Number two, I think if there is a change of schedule, one example I've seen this in some companies. Some companies tend to stretch their people by making them work on Saturdays and Sundays, even if it was not part of the contract, or by taking away certain overtime pay, saying that you don't need it anymore because it's part of the job. I think those things are illegal. I think that those are breach of contracts. That is also another sign that you're being overworked. So there. Third, which I think I mentioned a while ago, I think you're being overworked if the dumping of the workload is this much, but it's not compensated by the support. I mentioned this a while ago. The first thing I said in the live stream a while ago, if workload is increasing, where are the software? Where are the tools? Where are the gadgets that I need to get this done? Because I'm not gonna do these things manually. I need something to automate it. And if you're not going to support me by buying a new software or a gadget, then you're trying to save money by passing on to the person who will take on the job. I think that's unfair. Lemuel Enrico, I bought 3 of your books last year and now I shared it to my girlfriend and she's loving it. Thank you very much. Our books are available in National Bookstore, Fully Booked, and all these other online shops. When will be the release of your new book? Lemuel, in case you have missed it out, our fourth book, Everything Will Be Alright, was published last December 2022. It's also available in our website. If you're watching this on TikTok, it's in our yellow basket. You can catch it in that same TikTok account. If you're watching this on other platforms, you can go to bookstores. If you happen to be in Malaysia, our books are available in Kinokuniya and MPH. If you're nagpatrasas na talaga, no? If you're in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, our books are available in Magrudi's as well. And if you're in Vietnam, our books are available in Saigon bookstores, and it's also translated in Vietnamese. So thank you. And thank you for letting me promote my books, by the way. Okay. Ivy Valenzuela on TikTok is asking, what is more important to you? The job that makes you happy or the job that gives you a better pay? It depends on my age. If I'm young and I don't have enough money and my goal is to build a nest, I'm going to find a job that's going to make me earn a lot. Because I think when you earn a lot, you'll be able to use that same amount of money to give you happiness on some aspects of life. For example, travel makes me happy. So even if I'm not the happiest person in the office, I'm going to change my perspective and see it as I may not like my job for now, but I'm deriving my happiness from other things. And remember, gladiators in suits, sometimes you don't need to love your job on day one. Sometimes what you can love is what you get out of your job after you exit the office doors. Some people are able to segregate those feelings. And I understand some people cannot. But I need to raise this because this can work for certain people. If it works for you, go for that route. If I were already older and I've already saved enough money and I think I already have a good amount of assets, I will pick a job, on the other hand, that makes me happy because that's what I need more so I can live longer. Because it's been scientifically proven that the key to longer life is happiness in the company of the people that you work with. It's the happiness in the company of the people you talk to on a daily basis. Joseph Cabral says, I live in Abu Dhabi. We'll check your books in Magrudi's. Joseph, may issue lang kami sa Abu Dhabi. Some bookstores have been out of stock because we've been unable to ship our books to Abu Dhabi. So please check first the branch before you go. You can check online. I think that's the easier way to do it. Oh, okay. LinkedIn question from Simbo Chua. Is it okay to accept a job offer lower to your previous job knowing that you are unemployed? Okay, this question assumes that if you happen to be unemployed, does this merit the employer now to give you a low paying salary because they think that you're desperate to look for a job? I disagree. You should be given a salary based on your skills, based on your value as a person, not just because you're desperate for a job. Of course, that's the politics of negotiation. If they will keep on pushing because they know that you're desperate for it, you will bite for it. But please don't easily give up. Negotiate for your worth as a person, not because of your desperation. Okay, team, let me do a quick online contest now. As usual, we always give away tickets to our upcoming workshop. Our workshop, as you may notice if you're watching this on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, it's all shown here on the left side. These are all going to be conducted at the SMX Convention Center in SM Aura on July 28th, Friday, and July 29th, Saturday. We have four workshops: leadership, social media marketing, public speaking, and email etiquette and business writing. I want to give away tickets to all the four workshops. Each workshop is 1,299 pesos each, and you get to bring a plus one. Granted that you're able to answer our question correctly. Okay? Can I get the letter P as in prize if you guys are up for this? Okay, I'm gonna make one quick request because we've been asking this many times. Please take note that you are only eligible to win the prize if you have shared this live stream on your feed. Can I get an exclamation mark? Is that if that's clear? How do we find that out? Well, it's indicated on your name. The moment you share this Facebook Live on your feed, it will be indicated beside your name. So we will have a way of finding out if you have shared our Facebook Live or our TikTok Live. Okay? So we will only call out winners who have shared this on their feeds. Please take note of that. Is that clear? Yes. Thank you. Okay, people are typing done. Thank you. We appreciate that. That's our one of our ways to expand our reach to more people. Okay, so what's the category for tonight? What's the question? Ano ba pwede? I think we can ask is science okay? Or I wish I've been wanting to ask a question about anime, but I understand that not everyone watches it. On a side note, I've been skipping Black Clover for like 2 years now, thinking that it's not good enough, but I finally cracked the code. I've gone past beyond episode 8, and wow, I'm now on episode 22. And I'm afraid it will destroy my career because I can't stop watching it. So I'm happy I'm able to discover a new series to binge on again. However, I cannot ask anime questions because I need to be fair that not everyone watches anime in our session. Okay? So, let me ask a different question instead. Let's talk about science. I think science is going to be a good question to ask. Science pa pwede? Or, oh, let's talk about food na lang, if that's okay. Food? Is food okay? This one's an easy question. So the category is food. My question is this. Can I get a letter R, by the way, if you guys are ready? Give us a like, a heart, if you guys are ready. Just want to check everyone's energy. Okay? Yes? Okay. Category is food. Question is this. What is the most used vegetable in the world? What is the most used vegetable in the world? I'm going to wait for your responses. 5 winners on TikTok, 2 winners each platform, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. I think I already got the correct answer because I am seeing them now on the screen. The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is... Enough na ba yung mga sagot natin? Okay, yes, meron. Ayan, okay. The correct answer is, it's the onion. The onion is the most used vegetable in the world. Let me first call out the winners on TikTok. 5 winners. Each winner gets a +1 for our sessions on July 28 and 29. And remember, these are 4 sessions. So that's around 5,000 pesos worth of tickets. So my winners on TikTok are, first one is Jaylee, Jalee. Second winner is IVPN, IVPN. Third winner is Tina Villieg, Tina Estrella Villieg. Fourth winner is Dane Hart Zelly. Hi, Dane Hart Zelly. The fifth winner, pinapirapan nyo ako sa mga pangalan nyo ah. Fifth winner is 𝗧gie, 𝗧gie. Please send us a private message so we can give you instructions on how to claim your prize. In the meantime, winners on Facebook are the following. Okay, ang daming sagot ah. First winner is 𝗧cie𝗱𝘆𝘀. Congratulations. Second winner is 𝗕𝘂𝗶𝘆'𝘀. Congratulations. Now on LinkedIn, my winners are the following. First winner, who is this user? Wala siyang pangalan, no? LinkedIn user lang. Could you please message me? What's your name specifically? And then, second winner is Rachel Perez, also on LinkedIn. Congratulations. And then on YouTube, my winners are Crampy TV. Congratulations. And finally, the last one. Okay, ba't walang pangalan to? Also on YouTube. It's just a user. Sorry, I can't name you if that's the case. Congratulations to our winners. So please send us a private message so we can send you instructions on how to claim your prize because we need to get your email address. Okay, let's get on to the last set of questions. Please keep them coming. If you have a question that you typed a while ago, cut it, paste it so I can see it again in the most recent part of the chat box. Okay? And again, for those that didn't win any tickets, we'd like to invite you, if you'd like to see us live, in the flesh, and you'd like to learn about public speaking, business writing, leadership, we've been doing this since 2018. More than 1,000 students have been enrolled. You can attend our sessions on July 28 and 29 at the SMX Convention Center in Fort BGC in SM Aura. You can go to our website, johnyabut.com/talks. So you can register to our workshops. Okay, I'll quickly answer this from Aisha. What are your 2 cents on leaders who treat their well-performing subordinates as a threat rather than as an asset? It's a sad thing because amazing leaders will never be threatened even if you're so good because your success is also their success. They will use you and utilize you as a means to get a project successful. So you shouldn't be threatened at all. Jonathan is asking what are the methods for payment for the online courses. We do accept via PayPal, GCash, and also bank accounts. I think if you happen to be in another country, PayPal is going to work because it accepts all types of credit cards and debit cards also. Okay, question on TikTok. I like this. What preparations should we do before resigning? Is there a checklist? This is the last page. This is the last chapter in our latest book. Everything will be all right. But I'm going to quickly give you a checklist. Number 1, I mentioned this yesterday, timing is important. Timing. What do I mean? Are you resigning when the bonuses are just about to be given? And some companies forfeit bonuses if you quit a few days or a few months before. So some people will usually wait for a longer time. 1 month or 2 months may not hurt so bad. Wait for a bit so you can still claim your bonus, your 13th month bonus, your 14th month bonus, your performance bonus, for example. That's one. Number 2, I mentioned this yesterday in our part 1 of the workshop. Some companies will withhold your salary if you have not properly turned over your gadgets and your documents. For example, you've resigned July 15 and therefore July 31 is the next payroll. If in the next 15 days, you will not be able to turn over properly everything that you need to return, you will not be able to receive your last month's salary. And if you need money that might a big issue for you if you need to pay the bills. So before you even resign, check on a lot of the things that you need to return and that you need to process. Okay? I think there's a way to do that. If you have a friend in HR, or if you know someone who has resigned in the past, nudge them and tell them, hey, when you resign, did the company give you a checklist of things to do for clearance? Can I borrow that copy? Just so you have an idea on what to do before you resign, and how long did it take you to resign, for example. Okay. The third, check your contract. Usually contracts will require you to use 30 days or 60 days to render more days before you leave. When you quit, you just can't easily quit on the same day. And if you signed up to that agreement, you have to render those 30 days. Okay. I'm going to make a quick disclaimer. In Philippine law, there are certain outliers of the law that you can quit immediately for certain reasons, such as you haven't been treated properly, it's affecting your mental health, all these things. Oh, I like this. This is a telenovela story from Carl J. Del Rosario. The company has been laying off people due to revenue pressures. They haven't laid you off yet. I'm going to disclaim that, yet, which means in the future it can happen. But you feel that you are undervalued if you are trying to show value. Is it more ethical to quit, or is it also ethical to carry on until they lay you off and pay you severance? Okay, Carl, if the severance is going to be a big amount of money, I'd wait for that. Because usually redundancies and being severed is going to give you a good amount of money. I'll wait for it. If you think you're going to be laid off, and again, it's easier said than done because not everyone gets to have an idea if they will be laid off. Okay. Number two, however, you also have to consider the fact that this can drag on for a year or two. And that is what we call as the opportunity cost, which is the time you spend waiting in this company could have been the time spent moving to a different company with a better pay, better environment, and better leaders. So for me, the answer is how long and how far can you stretch it? How much patience do you have? I don't think it's a question of ethics. It's a question of patience. It's a question of how much are you willing to let go if you stay or if you leave. Okay? Marvin Margelino on TikTok is asking, is it okay to just lower my expectations to subordinates even if I have standards at work? I don't think you should immediately change your standards. Ask yourself, have I properly mentored these people? Have I coached them? Have I trained them in the first place? Because you can always keep high expectations, but if you're not doing anything about it, you're the one who's at a loss. Okay? I don't think you should let go of your own standards because having high standards is a good thing. It's the reason why you can be more successful because you always push yourself beyond the limits. But there are times wherein, for a certain amount of months or years, you might need to lower it for now, but with the hopes that these people are going to change in the next few years because they will be properly trained. Okay? Okay. Let's answer it. Last few questions. Sir, is it better to inform my manager that I am already looking for a job or make sure that I get a job first? Can we have an agreement here? Can you please raise your hand and swear, right hand, because this for me is a non-negotiable aspect of your career. If you have plans of leaving your job, you don't need to tell anyone about those plans. Amen? You don't. You should never tell that to anyone. Maybe to your best friend, maybe to some people you trust, but you should never tell that to anyone. Why? The moment you say it to someone, people are going to treat you differently. I understand. Some people might think, but if I threaten my boss, maybe they will treat me better. Maybe yes, maybe no. And maybe they will do something to you to stop you from leaving when you should be leaving. You should not be saying that. I'm going to give you one more example. Uh, I have this friend who treats me as a coach, who messages me from time to time, and he said, "Coach, I just declined a job offer, and it's because I enjoy the leadership of my manager. He's a very amazing boss. Should I tell him that and tell him, oh, boss, I just declined an offer. Someone attempted to pirate me. And because I want to tell that to my boss, because I want to flatter him that I like him so much." And I said, "That's stupid. I understand that your intention is to flatter your boss, but what your boss will actually think is, do you mean you're actively looking for a different job?" Right? That's what your boss is going to think of. And the moment your boss will think about this, they will change the way they will treat you. For example, if they know that they cannot change your mind, they will dump workload. They will start looping you out of meetings. They will start giving you cold shoulders. And you don't want this to happen. You'll never know what your boss will do. Some people are just not amazing leaders. So please don't tell it to anyone. It's your secret. Okay? You should only reveal after you have successfully signed a contract that is also duly signed by the employer. Okay? Yes? Do you guys swear? Can you please promise me that? Yes? Okay. John, okay. Is it true that the moment someone resigns from their job, it affects the mindset of other employees and they start thinking to also resign? Yes. It doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen a lot. And it's called the exit mindset or the exodus mindset. The moment someone leaves, it makes other team members think, I wonder why she left. Maybe she wasn't feeling or enjoying the company. You know what? I also feel the same way. Maybe I should also leave. It's a typical mindset and doesn't only happen in the workplace. It happens in society. It happens in the world. It's how the brains work. We are always after conformity. We tend to question ourselves when we're different to what other people are doing. We also tend to mimic what others do. So I'm going to flip the coin. If you happen to be a manager or a leader and one person starts to resign, you ought to take good care of the other remaining employees. You might also want to start asking yourself, did I do something that led to this person leave? Will that trigger also other employees to start leaving? Okay. People are telling me on TikTok, why am I seeing this live? Because maybe you've been triggered by, maybe you had some posts in the past that had hashtag quitting and therefore you've been prompted the algorithm and therefore you're seeing this live stream. Okay, Jewelson is asking, John, which is more powerful when it comes to employee referral? Is it the applicant referred by someone who is inside and they are of the same previous company, or an applicant that was referred by a friend but was not of the same previous company? I'm a believer that the best ambassadors of a company are its current employees, because you will never refer someone to join your company if you're not enjoying it also. Have you heard of someone who says, "No, no, 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 don't join this company. I'm in this organization and it sucks." A lot of people do that. So when someone invites you to be part of the company, I think it's a green flag. I think they're willing to take you in because I think that they love the company. Of course, take it with a grain of salt. Some people are just in it for the commissions because some companies reward people after they've referred someone successfully. But I also think it's not that easy to refer because you can be blamed by your friend if you were the ones who invited them to join the company and they didn't end up enjoying it. So a matchmaking also happens in between. Okay? Okay, guys, it's dinner time. I think I need to leave soon. So let's answer one last question before we go. Maki Mac. Okay, let me answer this. I asked for merit increase months ago, but still there is no progress. Should I quit? Not necessarily. Number one, do you even deserve that merit increase? Everyone wants to increase their salary. Everyone does. Who doesn't want additional money? But my question is, do you deserve it? Have you met the criteria? Have you ticked all the boxes? Have you asked this from your manager? Have you asked for evaluation whether you deserve it or not? Because if you don't, your quitting is not a sign of statement that you don't deserve this company. It's a sign that you're escaping from it. And no matter how many times you quit from one company to another, if you don't deserve it, you shouldn't be asking for that merit increase in the first place. Okay? Number two, I don't think you should easily quit by just asking once. Do multiple attempts. Ask for timelines. Look at the company policy. Maybe the merit increase is a scheduled activity. I want to say that, by the way, not all merit increase and promotions do not just happen randomly, wherein if they think that you're worth it, they will promote you tomorrow. It doesn't happen like that. It happens in batches. It happens in schedules or quarterly or annual. There is a structure that HR needs to follow. They can't just talk to BPI and say, increase the payroll of this person. It doesn't happen that way. It's usually done via efficient batch processing. So you may be eligible for a promotion or a merit increase this month, but it's not yet the schedule of the company. It will only be announced 3 months or 2 months from now. That also happens. Okay, Bench, last question. Let me answer this. I get so anxious speaking in meetings to the point that I get afraid and I don't speak at all. What should I do? The number one antidote for any form of anxiety, and this is scientifically proven, is if you can try increasing your exposure to the stimulus. So sometimes the antidote is to keep on exposing yourself, to keep on speaking to people that you are anxious to speak to. Okay? The more you let go and the more you avoid it, the more that feel of anxiety can strengthen. I always say this, one of the most popular ways for people who are afraid of spiders to overcome their fear of spiders is step one, look at a picture of a spider. Step two, look at the stuffed toy. Step three, look at a spider, a live spider from afar. Step four, make the spider closer to you. Step five, touch a spider inside a cage. And then step six, finally touch a spider. So the exposure happens over time. I think it's the same thing for public speaking. Start being part of an audience first. And then maybe you can start with asking questions as part of an audience. Graduate from being an audience to becoming a speaker. Baby steps. Because the more you get exposed, the more it becomes normal. The more it becomes normal, it becomes a habit. If it's a habit, over time, it becomes a permanent identity. It becomes a part of who you are. Okay, Bench? You can also, if I were to promote, join our Boost Your Confidence workshop happening on July 29, Saturday at the SMX Convention Center in SM Aura. Okay, gladiators in suits. I'm going to pause for now. I'll go online tomorrow again. I might go online at 6. I will not be able to go too late because I also have another dinner. So I'll try for 6 o'clock or 5:30 tomorrow. Tell me what topics you'd like me to discuss because we're going to be changing our topic for tomorrow. And I hope I get to see you soon. Could you please give us a like or a heart if you've learned something today or if you've unlearned something today? We'll appreciate that. Please. Thank you. We hope you get to share this live stream to your Facebook or to your TikTok feed or LinkedIn feed. It's one of our ways of improving our algorithm so more people can discover us also online. Thank you. And I'll see you guys soon. Thank you for listening and thank you for the amazing energy. If nabitin kayo, may I request you to please catch us on Spotify. We have a podcast, From Grit to Great. It's about career management. If you'd like to get copies of our best-selling books, so for example, one of our books is Single, Taken, or Building My Empire. Among the other books that we have, you can catch us in National Bookstore, Fully Booked, Lazada, and Shopee. If you're watching us on TikTok, it's in the yellow basket as well. Please get your orders. We'll see you guys soon. Thank you.